Welcome to Anything Everything.
Anything and everything.
Anything and everything. Okay, we have Tenzin Tanle
Yes.
here from India and Tashi from Nepal.
Yeah. But we
Okay,
both live in Cleveland now.
yeah. We're here at South Euclid.
Yeah.
It's about 8:30 right now. This is our first rodeo, so we don't know how it goes.
Radio or podcast? Podcast, eh? You meant podcast?
Yeah,
That's
I
okay.
meant it in a different way, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
I
Okay.
mean, I think, it's sometimes it's like it sounds easy, right? When you do podcast,
Mm-hmm.
you guys know it sounds
It looks
easy.
easy too when people do it. They just seem like you just sit there and talk, right?
But we forget one thing that they have gone through how we are going through, right?
Yeah.
Like there's always time to feel comfortable. It takes time, right?
100%. Yeah.
I think they
Yeah.
would have put in a lot of work already, and then they are comfortable.
That's true. I think whatever we're seeing on the phone, they must have taken a lot of
Yeah,
shots.
yeah. I think,
Okay.
yeah. I wanted to. I pitched an idea to Tashi. I wanted to start podcast because Tashi, me, and a couple of our friends, we have cool ideas and cool stories that we tell to each other. But
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like if we just have a camera, like here one,
Mm-hmm.
we can just like start talking and then we can record, and then with an intention that other people will watch it,
So,
especially among in Tibetan community.
100%.
It might help them,
Yeah.
in order to, if they wanted to transition to America, in Cleveland.
Especially away from New York because
Yeah.
a lot of Tibetan communities are based in New York and Minnesota, and they have like a set like
Routine.
routine.
Yeah,
Whereas in Cleveland, it's really different, and we have like minimum people,
yeah,
and the things that you and Tsering do, I think it would be really interesting to see.
yeah.
Yeah.
But those of you, I came to United States in 2016, lived in New York City for like 5 months, and then came to Cleveland. And the story will unfold as and when we go through the conversation, right?
So
And
how
I
long
know.
has it been? In
So I moved here in 2016, July-ish, and I moved here because of my work. And when I moved here, there's no Tibetan. I'm the only one. So now we have a few Tibetans and a few Nepalis,
Yeah.
right? And there are a lot of Nepalis in Akron. Those of you know Akron is the place where known for LeBron James, his hometown. And there are a lot of Nepali there. The whole Nepali who got, what is that? Refugee
Yeah.
asylum status there. But
So what was your initial thought about Cleveland, and what was your experience like the first few days after you came here? Actually, you can start about how you came from New York to Cleveland. That would be an interesting story.
2016, beginning of 2016, I was in New York, and I was having a good time. And those of you also who are in New York, you guys know, on a weekend Irish bar, partying till like 4 o'clock, go to Kebab King or whatever, right? King Kebab?
Kebab King, I don't know.
Yeah, Kebab. And then I did all those, I'm no stranger in doing those. But I always felt like I always wanted to work in a corporate world, right? Because I have a degree and I have experience in India. So I worked for Nestle in India for about 7 years. And then when I moved to New York, there are other opportunities presented, like working in a farmer's market and some of the hotel. Even I went for an interview in some
Yeah?
housekeeping. Yeah.
You did.
Yes, I
I
did.
cannot imagine you in New York housekeeping. I know you would do it, but like,
Yeah, I just
now.
went there to try it, test it, whether I would get. They are opening a new hotel that time, and then they needed people.
Imagine if you went there and then got the interview and started working. Do you think
I don't think so.
you would do it, or?
I would do it, but I don't think so. I would think for a longer period.
That's
Anyways,
true.
I don't want to debate from yours. So when I was in New York, I tried to find a job there. Every one of us, we have faced challenges such as, hey, you came from India, you studied in India, and it's difficult to get a job, right?
Yeah.
Right, because you
Mhm.
didn't study here at all. But I'm very persistent. I was persistent, and then I actually look for a job that that is related to my education.
Mhm.
And then finally, yes, Nestle approached me and said, "Hey, do you want to work for us again?" And that's why I moved from New York to. I was in New York for 5 months, and I moved in the month of end of July, June. So starting of July, I started working for Nestle. I came here with $200 from New York. No, New York to here. Shout out to my cousin.
Oh yeah.
She is in New York. Her name is Penpal Hamo, and yeah, she was very kind to provide me a place to stay, and I stayed with her, and she would give me $100, $200 every weekend, and then I'll save those money. So I ended up saving like $500-$600 when I moved to
That's so
live there.
nice of her. I think, especially one thing that's good about New York is if you have one cousin who's like good to you, that kind of sets like your entry level, right?
Yeah,
It's easier to. That's why sometimes I wonder if people who come there and who don't have anyone.
yeah.
So okay, you came to Cleveland, and what happened? Did you have to look for like houses or?
Yes. So when I before I moved to Cleveland, I looked for a lot of apartments, right?
Yeah.
And there are some few good apartments. And I didn't know though that you need to have a credit score to go to apartment. So I looked for some apartments, and then I contacted them, and they said, "Oh, the apartment will be open." They don't have an opening, so they have some open apartments,
Mhm.
like on like a week after I came to Cleveland.
Okay.
But then my manager, Laurie Shifano, she was very kind to let me stay in her house for like a week.
That's so nice of her.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then I moved to apartment, Saloon Club apartment. There are a couple of Rockside apartments, the Rockside Road. Now it's
Oh
very common.
yeah.
I look at the big
Oh yeah,
apartment.
you told me. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's fine.
the Rockside Tower, whatever.
Yeah.
And then again, my sister, I gave her as a guarantor, because I didn't have a credit score. I don't have a credit card,
Yeah.
so that's
I
all.
don't think like they do that in India and Nepal, right? Like
Yeah,
that's why it's like really new. It was really new for me too when like I started credit card and then they were like looking for credit score and stuff. But I think it's a good idea.
yeah. What about you? Like, how did you when you came in 2016, right?
I did. I came here in August and then I have my supposedly great uncle who has been here for a while. So I lived with him and I, I did work as a babysitter for a year before I started my college.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm grateful that I have someone to be with. Share the story about you um, and your bicycle ride.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
an epic one. Oh no no. How about um, the rice? Remember you lived with your
Manager for a
manager.
week. Oh man. So everybody knows, right? Those of you when you came from India, or when you live in Tibetan community in New York, especially, you have like a momo truck, like
Oh yeah.
Tayu. There's so many
Yeah.
laughing momos, chapale, timo, everything, right?
Yeah.
But
I
when
never felt like I was so away from home when I came to Jackson Heights.
yeah,
Right?
right, because
That's
you
why
have
it's
everything,
like
like food wise,
yeah.
yeah. Um, my story is like as I said, my manager was kind enough to let me stay in her house for a week, but every time, again, I'm I'm not complaining, right? Every time they eat bread and then some salad, right? They don't eat hot food. So I was like, oh shit,
I
now
just
I feel like eating rice and some pagle or rice, lentil. So what I did, I ordered rice cooker in Amazon before even I moved to the apartment. I
okay.
called my apartment leasing officer, hey, I ordered Amazon rice cooker. You might receive it. Please keep it in your before even I moved.
Yeah.
So what I ordered, rice cooker. I ordered pressure cooker, prestige pressure
Essentials,
cooker,
yeah.
essentials. I asked my coworker. I didn't have a car. I asked my coworker to take me to the grocery store. I bought lentil, Indian grocery lentil, dal,
Yeah.
basmati rice, and dal or lentil, and I bought all the ingredients to, to make rice and lentil.
Yeah.
So I think the day of when I was moving, they all said, "Oh, we will help you out," and then we actually log off. Usually we log off our office around like 4:30. That day we log off around like 3, and then they helped me to move some of the stuff, and they were very kind. They were like, moving furnitures to my apartment and everything. But all that I was doing was I was waiting for them to go so that I can prepare rice and lentil. And soon after they left, I did not rearrange anything. I just left everything like as is.
Yeah.
And then I started preparing rice and lentil. And I was like, like,
That
and I
must have
those
felt so good.
yeah, those
Yeah.
of you who have gone through the similar situation
Yeah,
like me.
I'm sure people who come here, especially like students or anyone else, right, who are so used to having rice and lentils, and all of a sudden you have to be in a position or like state where you just eat like salad and stuff, right?
Yeah.
It must have felt so good to have rice and lentils. Anyways,
Yeah.
we're gonna take a break and we'll be back.
If you hear the thing,
The cricket.
yeah,
Yeah.
we are in the wilderness, and then this is the RV that we have. So we are using this RV for like a weekend get together kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to check if the voice is capturing.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking too.
Because all this jibby.
Yeah. So you're gonna that one still working?
Yeah.
Why it happened like that?
I don't know. Okay. Back. Okay, so I really like that story because it shows like how your love for rice and lentil. How
I think everybody in the audience would agree to that.
I think so too, because we're so used to having.
Does this happen to you? Like, did you also have like?
So, I worked with the family, and they were like a Jewish family,
Yeah.
so we couldn't really bring our own food to eat. So I would stay there with them for 6 days and wouldn't eat any of like Nepali food. And when I come back home, I would eat a lot. So definitely, I feel like a lot of people could relate to that thing. So.
I also like how this the thing that I bought from Amazon.
Yeah. You should have brought it on over here, so it.
On my face.
Yeah.
This is light, good light enough, no?
Think so?
Yeah.
I think I'm the only one who's shining here.
That's okay. I mean, you have a better skin than I do.
I'm just kidding. In real, your skin I think is the best. Can you sit a little bit like this?
I look very relaxed.
Yeah.
That's
I want
what
you
the
to.
podcast is.
It is podcast like this, but I want you to also be respectful of people watching me. You know.
Oh wow. Please, if
You
you
never
guys
know.
feel like I'm not respectful, sitting more relaxed, comments
You
below.
never know, people.
And I don't know how many people will watch it. Like, I'm not. It would be great.
With
if
my
a lot of
smile, I think 10 guaranteed.
people might just say, why this guy is talking? Not this girl, not letting this girl
Yeah.
talk.
Anyways, let's get back to your story, because I think it's really rare to hear like Tibetan in Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
And especially with someone like you, it's always fascinating for me to hear like how you kind of struggled but thrived as well as the time passed by.
Yeah.
So what was your experience like being alone as a Tibetan, right? And
Yeah.
working in such a big company, and like, I think it's one of the like rare story that you would hear. I mean, it's not rare. There might be a lot of Tibetans who do that too, but
Yeah.
as in my circle, I've never actually. So, how was your
Experience, like living alone.
living alone as a Tibetan in a place where there's no
No.
Tibetan?
Yeah.
And did you feel like you wanted to go back to New York or move to
Yes.
Minnesota?
Not Minnesota so much. New
Okay.
York.
Mm-hmm.
I think as you guys might know, Cleveland is very cold It's similar to New York, a little bit colder than New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
During so the first few months, I didn't have any issue because you know I have new. I mean, I
You were
have to get an
excited.
apartment, new job, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Then after a certain time, I started to feel. I think now the loneliness is catching me, feeling
Yeah.
feeling
It is a big
yeah
deal.
alone. Yeah,
Yeah.
living alone started to feel more lonely.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, right? Being alone not necessarily mean you feel lonely, right? You can be alone, but you can have time for yourself. But I started to feel lonely when the winter started hitting, like October, November, and all that I was doing is going to work, come back home, and
It
then
can be really depressing, especially without the sun and right,
yeah,
like without
and
seeing.
and also my coworkers, right? Sometimes people enjoy with their new work, right?
Yeah.
Because if they have a coworkers who's similar to your age and hang out and all those things, right? Go to the basketball or happy hour. But I don't have any coworkers. All my coworkers are women and they're way older than me, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why they go home early. They want to take their dog out and all those things. So I actually work a lot and I like staying in office because there's nothing to do at home or in my
Mm-hmm.
apartment. So yeah, it was challenging, definitely.
Yeah. So, what were the things going in your mind, right? Because it's not like you were you had to be here, right? Like you
Yeah,
could also choose
yeah.
some
I
other
forgot to
place.
answer that question.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a lot of times that I wanted to move back to New York City.
Yeah. So what are the things that helped you? Like
Oh, so I used to watch a lot of Dalai Lama's talk, and I not even I do write.
you have that.
Yeah, in my wallet.
You
I,
still.
I think I still have it. Some of the writing.
That's I think yeah one of
Yeah,
the.
some of the things that I wrote, I think I still have it in my yellow paper if I'm not wrong. Yeah, where is that?
The only thing I see is $100 bills,
Yeah, I have. Oh no no, I have. I
but I've seen it.
yeah yeah. Yeah. I'm sure you have seen it.
Yeah.
Either it's somewhere here or somewhere here. Yeah.
So
Ooh, there are a lot of mosquitoes by the way, guys.
so um so you watch a lot of
Dalai Lama's
video.
videos, you
Uh-huh.
know, um, Dalai Lama's video to keep myself engaged.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
that's good. I think it takes a lot of courage to push yourself, right?
Yeah. Have you had any situation like that when you feel lonely? When you do, you
So
did live in, right?
right, yeah, it was pretty lonely, but I was also really engaged in my work,
Yeah.
right? So that helps too when you're like when your mind is occupied with work. But definitely loneliness is, I think, I've been lucky. I've
Yeah.
been surrounded with my cousins, my schoolmates. So I have never. That's why I feel like it's really courageous for someone to move to a state and then start fresh, and then make something out of yourself in a state. So luckily, I haven't done that. I haven't had a situation to do,
Yeah.
but it's really impressive for you to. And then, what happened?
Oh,
How
after
how did you make your empire in Cleveland?
what empire? Oh, the business.
Yeah.
I'm a small
Oof.
investor too. Oh, by the way, I have a lot of stories to tell, right? I don't think so. We would be able to
So
cover everything
yeah,
now,
I
right?
think
Like,
today
I just wanted to give, please keep watching, right? Not only the story about,
cool stories are yet to come.
yeah, because we have a friend. So, again, I know whether this is a good timing or not, but we wanted to take like interviews or podcasts of my friends who are a friend who's an engineer, my couple of friends who are like RN doing really good with Cleveland Clinic, and then I have Hispanic friends, I have white friends. So yeah, we will have a lot of interviews,
Yeah.
right, going forward. And then I also wanted to show you the things that I purchased that is from India, but I found in the United States, and I think
I think
it will keep you guys
once
excited. And I'm gonna do
you
video on that.
Yeah, once you unfold the things that you do, it would be really interesting to see.
Yeah, I probably might have to get one of the light. It looks very challenging. And you're right. I agree with
You're
you.
right. It's so good to hear that.
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
Oh my god. It's too bright, but that's okay. No, do it here, Tenzin. Oh yeah, like this. Or no,
Or like something like this.
no. I think the first one was okay too. Yeah, like that.
This one okay?
Yeah. Oh, I think that's good, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah, that's good.
yeah.
I think even mosquitoes are
So
like.
what are the things that you did, like, to keep yourself connected to your past? Not past, I would say, like your culture, because um, that is a big part of you, right? Like
Yeah.
you are really cultural in that way. You want to preserve. So what are the things that you did
Yeah.
that it's like you can see, right? The tenga and
Oh
everything.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So what are the other things that you did? Okay, I have an interesting question. So didn't you feel like your face is coming? So you know how since you're alone and all of the people that you work with are from here, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like you had to be a chameleon, like to kind of be like
One of
counted as one of them, or do you feel like, oh no, I have to be me? What do you think? Like
So I have to simulate myself with the culture here.
okay,
But since I came here when I'm older, right? So it was a little bit
I thought
challenging
you were
first of
just
all.
20 now.
I look, yeah, I look tiny. You take it, yeah. But I think it was challenging to simulate with the culture, but also the hindsight is I'm also able to retain my culture, so I'm not like easily malleable to take on the corporate culture, right? I
Yeah.
did, yes, I did learn or unlearn some of the things that we do at home, chicha, but I took the good things from American culture, right? Such as being independent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Such as saying thank you
Oh yeah,
and
that is.
asking, yeah, taking
Mm-hmm.
permission before you say, knocking someone's, right? Those
Knocking
are the things.
someone's door. How,
Yeah.
when did you learn it?
Um, no,
Just
in a sense,
recently?
like we have a cubicle system, so
Oh,
I
okay.
knock the cubicle. Tap, tap,
That's true. That's true.
tap.
That is kind of really
Yeah,
different from our culture.
yeah,
Yeah.
that and but like a training your mind. So I to answer your other question, I mean the same question, but the second part of the question is how did you maintain your culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maintain my culture. As I said, I watch a lot of Dalai Lamas, and I talk to my family, and also coming here little in, at older age helps me to
That's really true.
right. And also I found there's a temple called Palio, which is Nyingma Gomba. So I found that, and I used to go there every Sunday. I know why you're smiling. I don't go that often now. That's why.
No, you said paleo.
Palio,
Is it paleo?
Palio.
Paleo?
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds about right. Not
Oh, okay.
paleo.
Okay.
Okay, just kidding.
Wow, it's a lovely weather.
It
And
is.
only the mosquito plant. We need
It
to buy
is.
a pallet.
Definitely. For next time, I know what I have to, because I'm getting a lot of
You
bites.
guys like this study? Please feel free. And then any one of you who are from New York City, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they visit Cleveland, even though you are not our friends,
Mm-hmm.
we are happy to show the places here. If you're a real estate investor, contact us. We will
Oh,
help
yeah.
you. We'll have a lot of conversation on this.
As time passes
Yeah,
by.
and when we talk
Yeah.
to
I
our friends.
think there are a lot of cool topics that you can talk about.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow, this is ultimate wilderness.
yeah.
this is very useful.
I agree. Yeah.
What about you? Um, how like I think you talked about how you also have similar experience when you wanted to eat own food, and when you did live in for
Yeah.
how many years?
I did for a year.
For a year,
Yeah.
and you crave for
Definitely.
our
Like
food and
so I would come back home and then I would eat like crazy.
yeah, like
Yeah.
big portion.
Yeah. I
Oh
started
man,
gaining weight. But it was good because I think being in a different family, a different setting, you get to learn a lot. Like you get to see how people live, and it was a really good experience. I think from them, I started picking up healthy eating habits.
yeah,
I would say, because it's easier people to say, "Oh, eat this, eat that," right? But
yeah.
when you see someone actually living that example and then actually doing it, it was really like easier for me to also kind of learn that. Yeah, mosquito bite.
You know what? Sorry, I know, guys. There are a lot of mosquitoes. We might move it inside, but before we move inside, I remember whenever I go to New York City, I used to come to New York City a lot, and I have few friends in New York. The first thing I do when I get off from airport, I'll go to straight to Payu. I don't go to my cousin, no friends, no cousin. Straight to Payu
Yeah,
restaurant. Eat
yeah.
that momos.
Anyone who has experience like this, feel free to share because I know 99% of people who are away from their home, right?
Yeah,
Good, authentic food makes you feel home.
yeah.
I think people in New York are really lucky because I was there too. So I feel I used to take it for granted, but for now I feel like, oh, sometimes I crave those
Those food.
momos, crave those food.
What was the reason you moved to Cleveland, and what the heck, right?
What the
Why
heck?
the Cleveland is the sort of place?
Yeah, so Cleveland. There are many reasons that I moved to Cleveland. Especially first thing, I think first thing is because I have someone, right?
Yeah.
Like I have someone here. I have my cousin and then also my schoolmate. So that made it easier. And then I happened to um, wanting to do a course that were kind of limited at that time that I wanted in New York. So I didn't want it to wait too long to go to New York and then do all the process and stuff. So I got accepted here, and then I was like, okay. I it was I was like reluctant to come at first because like I was there. I was home in New York, right? But at the end, I was like,
Yeah.
I gave it a go, and then I've been here. It's been good. It's tough, right? Like I've never driven a car in New York. I have driven it when I was taking
Of course.
classes,
Yeah.
but after like I've never driven. But drive, I have done a lot of stuff here. So I think one thing about Cleveland is like I believe being in a different places also kind of changes your view about stuff, right?
Yeah.
So what like do you think you would be a different Tanzan if you were in New York? And
Yeah. Yeah. I would be a different temper, but I don't.
what do you think like Cleveland has made you that you wouldn't have been if you were in New York?
In Cleveland, you can take more risk compared to New York. When I say risk, in a sense um, like buying a house, right? In New York, oh, wrong. In New York, I can take a risk, but in order to take a risk, it would take years because if I'm thinking to buy a house, we are talking about like $1 million house.
Mm-hmm.
Here, it would take. I'm willing to take a risk because the houses on an average is around $200,000,
Uh-huh.
right?
Uh-huh.
And then you can take a risk of like, oh, I'll buy a house if I don't stay here, right? I can easily sell whatever it is. Um, and that's what I did. I think Cleveland provides you, since you would have more time for yourself. When
Mm-hmm.
I say you're not doing in New York, I love those things, right? But in New York, you have like a Tibetan gathering, this talk bar, that talk bar, friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
So since you're a social animal, you ended up doing those things. I'm not saying it's not good.
It
It's
is
good, right?
it is good, but it's not as productive as like
In a sense,
moving
like,
yourself.
yes, personal goal.
Yeah,
You give too much time yourself to
I
the
agree.
society,
Yeah.
and that's when I feel like that is not here in Cleveland.
But do you
Cleveland is
feel
like,
like you're missing that part in Cleveland too? Because that is
yes,
a big part about.
yes. That's why I come to New York every time, every chance that I get, right? And I'll come during Thanksgiving. I'll come during Dalai Lama's birthday, right? And I'll come during Losar. Those are the time I come there.
Yeah.
I enjoy like as if that is I'm gonna die tomorrow, right? So for me, it's a well balanced to be in Cleveland and then focus on my individual goal,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because I don't want to work in corporate world like forever. So what do I need to do? I need to understand what are the other passive income that I can think of and then also do, right? So I think
Did you have this notion of like wanting to like retire early, work for yourself, like
Yes.
before, or like did it happen as you joined corporate world, as you become more confident about like how did it come about?
Yes, I always wanted because for me, working for someone is not sustainable. If you think about your overall quality of life, I don't want to work for someone until I get like 65, 70, because I always feel like anyone, right, should spend 20 years of your time to do something that you really enjoy, right? Otherwise, what is the use of being born if you work for the corporate world and that is it? You work 45 years and then you all that you do is die, right?
Yeah.
We are not. Yes, that's why I want to do something that is meaningful. Not only profit is the main motto, no, right? Meaningful, such as I want to do a social worker. I wanted to do a guest faculty and teach in the school. I wanted to um, I wanted to become a leader in our community, like all those things.
Yeah, I think that's a really good motivator, right?
Yeah.
Like I think that's really important because a lot of times people can go about their life just being present, right? Like just doing what's needed, not thinking too much about future and thinking about a lot of stuff, right? And people when they come at the end, they realize, oh, all that I'm doing is just like moving like a robot or something.
Yeah.
So I think definitely being in a place like Cleveland where you are a little bit more, it's more easier to take risk,
Yeah.
right? It definitely helps, but
It takes time to take risk in New York, right? Everything is so
definitely like
expensive there.
New York has a lot of perks as well, right? Like
Yeah.
there are like tons of new things happening, blah blah blah. But yeah, I think it's true. Okay, should we continue this next?
Yes. So many more to come, right?
Yeah, today I think we talked more about like how we came about. But
and
there
again, I don't know. This is our first video, and we might or we may not post it if you guys watch this. Of course, that clearly shows that we have posted this, but many more to come, right? We have interesting guests who has an interesting story, right? And then we will have like someday we'll do podcast. The other day we'll do vlog about so many metro parks available in Cleveland. What are the things that you can do in Cleveland?
Yeah.
And then we will make a videos about some of the renovation that we are doing on the house. We all are investors, and then if you're wondering what I'm gonna do with this is also gonna be, if I'm gonna make a video on this as well, right? What this is gonna be, and then we will share some tips and tricks of how to make passive income. So
I think that would be a really interesting topic.
Yeah.
Because you have actually started from like having nothing, right,
Yes.
in New York. I'm not in New York. As you came to America and then building, and you have experience from Airbnb, you have experience from um, you starting off without having anyone. So
State sale,
Oh,
you
yeah.
you also have a story there.
yeah,
So we will have more. I mean, this is just like high level, right? And then the house there. This is a huge lot. So we'll do a tour of this house, 1.3 acres of land, and in the works. The house is in the
one
works.
of the
This is gonna be
best.
Airbnb. You can see a lot of cricket sound. We are in the wilderness, and tonight we're gonna spend time here, and then Tashi would be the editor in chief, and then she would do it, and then we will have that's why this channel is called Anything and Everything, because we're gonna do podcast, we're gonna do vlog as well. So and then some educational stuff, right? Financial planning, how to
Yeah.
make passive income, and then anyone who wants to do an RN from India, from Nepal, from New York, or from the States who wanted to move to other, like Cleveland, Tashi and a few other friends, they have done RN. So there are a lot of interesting content that we want to share. So that's the whole purpose of making a vlog, right? Is to impart what we have learned in Cleveland, and then also to say all the Tibetans out there in India, Nepal, Tibet, and abroad on US and Europe, say that hey, we have a smaller group here in Cleveland who also do some things that can help and inspire or motivate you guys out there.
Yeah, definitely. I think it would be a really interesting podcast or video to watch, because
Yeah.
even me, as I
A&E.
came, A&E.
Yeah, anything and everything.
Hmm.
A&E podcast. Does it sound good? Or you have a different? By the way, anything.
I have a different opinion about this name, but
Okay,
I-
yeah. So
I-
she's gonna. We will discuss about it too.
I definitely like it, but I sometimes like to be like original and like anything and everything is so it makes sense. But I think it's good to start with.
Yeah, we can come up with it, right?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
thank you guys for
Thank you.
watching. I think I have learned so much from just being here for a year, and I think with you making a video about things that you've learned, it would be really interesting and helpful. For more videos to come, if you guys enjoy it, we'll be making more. If not, also we'll be making more.
We will keep making videos until
Yeah.
we reach 1 million subscribers.
I like the energy.
Energy,
It's not even
confident.
100 or 10,000.
Yeah.
1 million.
Aim for bigger. Yeah.
Definitely. Aim
Yeah.
for the stars, and then you might end up with moon or something. I don't know. Something like that.
Okay.
Anyways, thank you guys.
Cool. Thank you guys. Talk to you guys soon. Bye bye. Good night. Chapakeh.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Now I cannot. Wow, this is good.